The scrolls discovered near Qumran, alongside texts like the Essene Gospel of Peace, offer a profound glimpse into a stream of wisdom that flowed parallel to, yet distinct from, mainstream religious interpretations of its time. These writings suggest that the teachings of Jesus, or Yeshua, were deeply rooted in the practices and philosophies of the Essene community. This community, often described as mystical and ascetic, held a deep reverence for the natural world and the interconnectedness of all life. Their understanding of health, spirituality, and the cosmos appears far more holistic than what has been commonly passed down through conventional channels, hinting at a deeper, more practical application of spiritual principles for human well-being and evolution. The Essene Gospel of Peace, specifically, paints a picture of Jesus as a master of life's energies, a healer who understood the subtle forces that govern both the human body and the earth itself. His teachings, as portrayed in this gospel, emphasize a return to natural laws, a purification of the physical self as a prerequisite for spiritual enlightenment. This is not merely about moral conduct, it is about a conscious alignment with the rhythms of creation. The implications are vast, suggesting that Jesus was imparting knowledge not just for individual salvation in an afterlife, but for navigating profound changes within the living world, perhaps even cosmic in scale, demanding a heightened state of physical and energetic purity. Consider the possibility that these teachings were designed to prepare humanity for a period of intense transformation. The emphasis on direct communion with the earthly Mother and the Heavenly Father speaks to an awareness of energetic fields and influences that modern science is only beginning to acknowledge. The Essenes, and Jesus through their lens, may have understood that the human body is a bioelectrical marvel, capable of attuning to and being affected by the larger electromagnetic environment of the planet and the solar system. This perspective shifts the narrative from a purely faith-based salvation to one of active, conscious participation in one's own energetic and physical resilience. Therefore, when we explore these hidden teachings, we're not just uncovering historical curiosities, we are potentially rediscovering a lost science of life. A science that recognized the profound link between our inner state and the outer world, between our dietary choices and our spiritual clarity, and between our physical health and our ability to withstand and adapt to significant environmental and energetic shifts. The Essene path, as illuminated by texts like the Gospel of Peace, was a path of preparation, urging a return to fundamental truths about how to live in harmony with the universe, a message that resonates with increasing urgency in our current times of unprecedented change. The Essenes, a somewhat mysterious spiritual community flourishing around the time of Jesus, are often depicted as living apart, dedicated to a life of purity, shared resources, and profound spiritual inquiry. They were known for their meticulous adherence to laws of purification, their deep study of sacred texts, and their unique interpretations of prophecy. Their connection to the Dead Sea Scrolls has provided invaluable insight into their beliefs, revealing a worldview that integrated practical daily living with a sophisticated understanding of cosmic order. They were not just desert ascetics, they were scholars, healers, and perhaps even guardians of an ancient wisdom tradition that predated many established religious structures of their era. Their emphasis on communal living, daily ritual immersions in water, and a diet that leaned heavily towards vegetarianism and uncooked foods speaks volumes about their understanding of health and its connection to spiritual receptivity. They believed that purity of body led to purity of spirit, allowing for clearer communication with the divine and a deeper understanding of the laws of nature. This was not merely a philosophical stance, but a lived reality, a practical application of principles aimed at achieving a higher state of consciousness and physical vitality. Their meticulous record-keeping and preservation of texts suggests they saw themselves as custodians of critical knowledge for future generations. The Essenes possessed a profound knowledge of astronomy, angelology, and the healing properties of plants and natural elements. They viewed the human body as a microcosm of the universe, subject to the same laws and energies that governed the stars and planets. This holistic perspective meant that physical healing was inseparable from spiritual healing, and that true well-being involved aligning oneself with the rhythms of the earthly mother and the light of the Heavenly Father, as described in the Essene Gospel of Peace. Their practices were designed to maintain this delicate balance, fostering an environment where the human spirit could thrive and perceive deeper realities. It is within this context that Jesus' teachings, particularly those highlighted in the Essene Gospel, gain a new dimension. If Jesus was indeed closely associated with or influenced by the Essenes, then his message would have inherently carried their understanding of the interconnectedness of all things and the importance of living in accordance with natural law. This connection suggests that his teachings were not merely abstract spiritual concepts, but practical instructions for achieving a state of being capable of navigating the complexities of life on Earth, including potentially disruptive cosmic or terrestrial events that the Essenes, with their prophetic insights, might have anticipated. Many traditional interpretations of biblical prophecy, especially those found in books like Revelation, speak of cataclysmic end times, often framed as divine judgment and destruction. However, when viewed through the lens of ancient wisdom, including perspectives potentially held by communities like the Essenes, these prophecies could be interpreted differently. Instead of a singular final apocalypse, they might refer to cyclical shifts, periods of profound transformation that the Earth and its inhabitants undergo at regular intervals. These cycles, known to many ancient cultures, often involve celestial alignments, solar activity, and resulting terrestrial changes rather than solely a moral reckoning from an external deity. The Essene Gospel of Peace, while not explicitly detailing an end-of-the-world scenario in the conventional sense, emphasizes a profound need for purification and harmony with natural law. This urgency could be interpreted as a preparation for a significant energetic or environmental transition. Jesus' warnings about days of darkness or times of tribulation, when filtered through an Essene understanding of cosmic rhythms, might point towards periods of instability in the Earth's electromagnetic fields or increased solar activity. Such events would inevitably impact all life, making physical and spiritual resilience paramount for those wishing to navigate the changes successfully and consciously. Consider the ancient understanding of ages or yugas, which describe vast cycles of time, each with its unique characteristics and challenges. The transition from one age to another is often marked by upheaval, as old structures break down to make way for the new. If Jesus and the Essenes were aware of these larger cosmic patterns, their teachings would naturally focus on preparing individuals to withstand such transitional periods. The emphasis on detoxification, connecting with nature, and cultivating inner peace becomes not just a path to spiritual enlightenment, but a practical strategy for maintaining equilibrium during times of intense energetic flux and planetary change. Therefore, the cataclysm Jesus might have anticipated may not have been a fiery end, but rather a profound shift in the Earth's operating conditions, perhaps driven by solar or galactic plasma events. His teachings then become a manual for adaptation, a guide to recalibrating the human system to resonate with a new, emerging frequency. This perspective reframes apocalyptic prophecies as calls to awaken and prepare for a natural, albeit powerful, process of planetary evolution, one that demands a higher level of consciousness and physical purity from humanity to ensure a harmonious transition. While the term plasma as the fourth state of matter is a modern scientific concept, ancient cultures often spoke of a vital life force, a celestial fire, or an ethereal energy that permeated the universe and animated all living things. This living breath or spirit shares conceptual similarities with how we understand plasma today, an energized state of matter with profound electromagnetic properties, making up over 99% of the visible universe, including our sun and stars. The Essenes, with their deep connection to nature and the cosmos, may have possessed an intuitive, if not explicit, understanding of this fundamental energy and its role in life and consciousness. The Essene Gospel of Peace speaks of the angels of the sun, water and air, not merely as symbolic entities, but as living forces or energies that directly influence human health and spiritual well-being. The angel of sun, for instance, could be interpreted as representing the life-giving and purifying qualities of sunlight, which is intrinsically linked to plasma phenomena like solar flares and the solar wind. These celestial energies were not seen as distant or inert, but as active participants in the Earth's environment and in the human energetic system. A deep awareness of these forces would naturally lead to practices designed to harmonize with them. Jesus' teachings, as filtered through the Essene texts, could be seen as guiding individuals to become more conscious conductors and receivers of these cosmic energies. By purifying the body through diet and fasting, and by attuning the mind through prayer and communion with nature, individuals could enhance their connection to this universal plasma field. This connection was likely seen as essential for spiritual growth and for maintaining health, especially if there was an anticipation of fluctuations or intensifications in these cosmic energies. The body, when clean and its channels open, could more readily assimilate beneficial frequencies and withstand potentially disruptive ones. Therefore, Jesus' awareness of plasma might not have been in the language of modern physics, but in the language of spiritual cosmology, as a fundamental living fire or spirit that underpins creation. His teachings on interacting with the Heavenly Father and its various angels could be understood as a way to engage with these powerful, life-sustaining plasma energies. Preparing people for changes involving electromagnetic plasma events would then mean guiding them to become more sensitive, resilient, and aligned with these foundational forces of the universe, ensuring their energetic systems could adapt and even thrive amidst cosmic shifts. Section 5. Nourishing the light body, raw foods for energetic ascent. The Essene Gospel of Peace places a remarkable emphasis on the consumption of raw living foods. Jesus is quoted as saying, "Eat nothing, therefore, which a stronger fire than the fire of life has killed," directly pointing towards the avoidance of cooked foods and advocating for fruits, nuts, seeds and vegetables in their natural state. This dietary wisdom is not merely about physical health in a conventional sense. It is deeply connected to the idea of nourishing the light body or the energetic essence of a person. Raw foods are believed to retain their vital life force, their enzymes and their subtle energies, which are largely diminished or destroyed by the heat of cooking. This fire of life present in uncooked, sun-ripened foods is seen as directly transferable to the consumer, enhancing their own vitality and vibrational frequency. In the context of preparing for an electromagnetic plasma event, such a diet would be crucial. A body nourished by high vibration, living foods would theoretically be more resilient, its cells more vital, and its electromagnetic field stronger and more coherent. This coherence could offer a degree of protection or adaptability when faced with intense external energetic fluctuations, such as those associated with increased solar activity or other plasma-based phenomena that might affect the Earth's environment. Furthermore, a diet rich in raw foods is inherently cleansing. It supports the body's natural detoxification processes, helping to eliminate accumulated toxins that can dull the senses, cloud the mind, and impede the flow of subtle energies. For the Essenes, and for Jesus as depicted in their Gospels, this physical purity was a direct pathway to spiritual clarity and heightened awareness. A clean internal environment would allow an individual to be more sensitive to the subtle energies of nature and the cosmos, and perhaps more attuned to premonitions or intuitive guidance regarding impending changes, including those of an electromagnetic nature. Therefore, the insistence on raw foods was a cornerstone of Essene preparation. It was about optimizing the human vessel, making it a clear conduit for higher energies and more capable of withstanding environmental stress. By consuming foods still pulsating with the fire of life, individuals were essentially aligning their personal energy fields with the life-giving energies of the sun and the earth. This practice, far from being a mere dietary suggestion, was a sophisticated technique for energetic enhancement and resilience, vital for anyone seeking to navigate a period of profound cosmic or terrestrial transformation. Section 6. The Sacred Fast Purifying the Vessel for Higher Frequencies. Beyond the daily regimen of raw foods, fasting holds a prominent place in the teachings attributed to Jesus within the Essene Gospel of Peace. Fasting was not presented as a form of punishment or deprivation, but as a powerful tool for profound purification and spiritual reconnection. Fast, therefore, till all evil spirits depart from you, and all the angels of our earthly mother and our heavenly Father come and serve you, Jesus is said to have taught. This indicates that fasting was understood as a method to clear out not just physical toxins, but also negative energetic influences, thereby making space for more refined, life-enhancing energies to enter and permeate the being. The physiological benefits of fasting are increasingly recognized by modern science: cellular repair, reduced inflammation, improved insulin sensitivity, and a reset of the digestive system. For the Essenes, these physical changes were inextricably linked to spiritual benefits. By giving the body a rest from constant digestion, vital energy could be redirected towards healing, detoxification, and heightened awareness. This internal cleansing process would make the individual more sensitive to subtle energetic currents and spiritual insights. In preparation for an electromagnetic plasma event, such heightened sensitivity and internal clarity would be invaluable for discerning and adapting to shifting environmental energies. The Essene approach to fasting often involved specific protocols, sometimes incorporating enemas or internal cleanses with water, as described in their texts, to assist the body in eliminating accumulated waste and demons, which could be interpreted as parasites or deeply ingrained toxic patterns. This thorough purification aimed to create a truly clean vessel capable of vibrating at a higher frequency. A body burdened by undigested food, toxins, and lower vibrational influences would struggle to adapt to the potentially intense frequencies associated with a significant plasma event or solar cycle maximum, making it more susceptible to imbalance or distress. Thus, fasting, as taught by Jesus through the Essene lens, was a critical preparatory practice. It was a way to lighten the physical and energetic load, allowing the individual's innate spiritual intelligence and resilience to come to the forefront. By periodically engaging in sacred fasting, individuals could recalibrate their systems, enhance their intuitive faculties, and strengthen their connection to the life-sustaining energies of the earth and the cosmos. This practice would make them more adaptable and energetically robust, better equipped to navigate periods of profound change, including those driven by powerful electromagnetic plasma phenomena from the Sun or beyond. Section 7. Elemental Harmony, Earthly Attunement for Celestial Events. The Essene Gospel of Peace emphasizes a deep, interactive relationship with the elements of nature, personified as angels: the angel of earth, the angel of water, the angel of air, and the angel of sun. Jesus' teachings, as recorded in this gospel, guide individuals to actively commune with these forces for healing and spiritual balance. This is not merely a poetic metaphor, it suggests a practical understanding of how human beings can attune themselves to the natural electromagnetic and subtle energies of the planet. For instance, practices like lying upon the earth, immersing in living waters, breathing deeply of fresh air, and consciously receiving sunlight were considered essential for well-being. This elemental attunement can be seen as a form of grounding and energetic harmonization. In an era potentially preceding significant electromagnetic plasma events, such practices would serve to stabilize and strengthen an individual's own bioenergetic field. The Earth itself possesses a natural electromagnetic field, and connecting with it through direct physical contact can help to balance our internal rhythms. Similarly, sunlight, a direct manifestation of solar plasma energy, provides vital energy, but also, in Essene thought, a direct spiritual nourishment. Conscious interaction with these elements was a way to stay coherent with the planet's shifting energies. Consider the instructions for healing: allowing the sun's rays to penetrate the body, breathing the morning air deeply, or using the clay and waters of the river. These are not just folk remedies, they represent a sophisticated understanding of how to use natural frequencies for healing and recalibration. If cosmic plasma events were anticipated, which could potentially disrupt the Earth's own electromagnetic environment, then strengthening one's connection to the stable, grounding energies of the planet through these elemental practices would be a vital preparatory step. It's about building resilience from the ground up, literally. Therefore, Jesus' teachings on engaging with the earthly mother and her elemental angels were fundamental to preparing individuals for change. By fostering a conscious, reciprocal relationship with the natural world, people could maintain their energetic equilibrium, enhance their vitality, and cultivate a sensitivity to the subtle cues of nature. This deep harmony with the elements would make them less vulnerable to external energetic disturbances and more capable of adapting to the new conditions that might arise from a significant plasma changeover or intensified solar activity, ensuring they remained rooted and resilient amidst cosmic flux. Section 8. The burden of flesh, parasites, purity and peril. A significant and often challenging aspect of the teachings found in the Essene Gospel of Peace is the strong admonition against the consumption of meat. Jesus is quoted as saying, "For I tell you truly, he who kills, kills himself, and whoso eats the flesh of slain beasts, eats of the body of death." This stance is not merely about compassion for animals, though that is implied. It is profoundly linked to concepts of purity, energetic contamination, and the introduction of what might be termed lower vibrational entities or influences into the human system, specifically referencing parasites as tangible manifestations of these demons. The text explicitly links the consumption of flesh with the harboring of devils or evil spirits, which are described as parasites that thrive on decaying matter and create disease and spiritual dullness. Their body became the tomb of their bodies. For I tell you truly, he who kills, kills himself, and whoso eats the flesh of slain beasts, eats of the body of death. For in his blood every drop of their blood turns to poison. Their breath to his breath stinks, their flesh to his flesh boils, their bones to his bones calcify, their bowels to his bowels decay, their eyes to his eyes scales, their ears to his ears a waxy discharge, and their death will become his death. This graphic description highlights a perceived direct link between meat consumption and a host of physical and spiritual ailments. From an energetic perspective, consuming flesh, particularly from animals raised in unnatural conditions or killed in fear, introduces dense, fear-based energies into the human system. These lower vibrations, according to such teachings, can cloud consciousness, impede spiritual development, and make the individual more susceptible to negative influences. In the context of preparing for a plasma changeover or significant energetic shift, maintaining the highest possible vibrational frequency would be paramount. A body burdened by the death energy of flesh and riddled with parasites, seen as physical manifestations of demonic influence, would be less able to adapt and resonate with higher incoming frequencies. Therefore, the Essene, and by extension, Jesus' teachings on avoiding meat, were a crucial component of spiritual and physical preparation. It was about keeping the inner temple clean and free from entities and energies that could hinder one's ability to navigate transformative periods. By abstaining from flesh, individuals could reduce their parasitic load, purify their blood, elevate their consciousness, and become clearer channels for divine light. This purity was deemed essential not just for personal salvation, but for the collective ability of humanity to withstand and integrate the profound energetic changes anticipated with a cosmic or solar plasma event. Section 9. The Great Preparation awaiting a new cosmic dawn. Synthesizing the diverse threads of Jesus' teachings as presented in the Essene Gospel of Peace, a compelling picture emerges, one of meticulous preparation for a profound transformation. This preparation was not merely for an afterlife, but for a significant shift within the living experience on Earth, potentially linked to cyclical cosmic events, such as an electromagnetic plasma changeover. The emphasis on raw food, fasting, communion with natural elements, and the avoidance of meat all point towards a sophisticated system designed to purify the body, elevate consciousness, and strengthen energetic resilience in the face of powerful external changes. The deep understanding of the body as an energetic vessel, susceptible to both terrestrial and celestial influences, underscores the practical nature of these teachings. If humanity was approaching a period of intensified solar activity or a galactic current sheet passage, events that could drastically alter the Earth's plasma environment, then these Essene practices would serve as a vital toolkit for adaptation. Cleansing the body of toxins and lower vibrational influences, such as parasites, viewed as demons, would enable individuals to better assimilate and integrate the higher frequencies associated with such a cosmic event, rather than being overwhelmed or destabilized by them. The Essene anticipation of a Messiah or a teacher of righteousness who would guide humanity through a period of tribulation towards a new age aligns with this idea of preparation. Jesus, through this lens, was not just offering moral platitudes, but imparting critical survival and evolutionary wisdom. His teachings were a roadmap for navigating the end of one cosmic cycle and the beginning of another, a time when the veil between worlds might thin, and the very fabric of reality could undergo a vibrational upgrade. The call was to become a son of light, capable of embodying and radiating the new energies. Ultimately, whether one interprets these teachings literally as preparation for a specific plasma event, or metaphorically as a path to heightened spiritual awareness, the core message remains potent. Jesus, as revealed in the Essene traditions, was guiding humanity towards a state of profound purity, harmony with nature, and energetic coherence. This state was deemed essential for navigating the challenges and embracing the opportunities of a great shift, preparing us not for an end, but for a more enlightened and conscious existence. A true new cosmic dawn for those willing to undertake the sacred work of transformation.